Why did I start watching this? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? All right, so we are down to Love is Blind season 9, episodes 7 through 9. I still want to stop watching this because it's just ridiculous at this point, but I got to see it through. First of all, Joe hates Madison, okay? He really hates this girl. I don't know if they're at a point in their contract where they can't get out anymore, but Joe don't want to be with this girl. Joe does have a really cool family. I like Joe's family, a really big family. He reminds me of like a Jersey boy, kind of like Joey from Friends. That's the vibe that I'm getting from Joe. So then we see Allie and Anton, and they are back in the apartment after, I guess, after both of them got back from work, or I can't remember how their shifts are working, but they're talking about budgets, and Allie wants to be a kept woman. I don't think she realized that she got engaged to a party boy who just wants to show her as a trophy, but I don't know if he has the necessary funds to upkeep the type of life that she wants. But yeah, she wants to be a kept woman, and I don't know if his budget's going to allow for that. Side note, Anton looks like the villain from Heroes. If you guys remember the show Heroes, he looks like the main villain from that. Am I tripping or not? So then we see Edmund and Kay, and Edmund is fixing his mom breakfast for everybody, but his mom is coming to visit. And I'm looking at the pancakes, and I'm like, is he cooking one pancake at a time? Like they don't have a big enough frying pan where you can do multiple pancakes. I was distracted by that. I was distracted by his mom mentioned this, the syrup being in like a bowl. I guess they can't show the actual like bottle with because of branding reasons, but I was like, this is weird. Seeing Edmund's mom um, answered a lot of my questions. It really pissed me off when she was like, I raised you to do this and I raised you. And I was like, ma'am, this man told us that he was in foster home. So what type of raising was you doing? Edmund's mom is like some people's parents where she just don't have the emotional bandwidth to properly give the care to a child that is necessary, and it is unfortunate that as a result of her not being able to do this, we then get Edmund. We also see Megan and Jordan looking at homes, and this is why I say before y'all jump down my throat, y'all wanted to put the pause on me when I said that Whitley should have chose Byron. But this is one of the primary reasons. Like, you not only have to be like spiritually and mentally equal, but you have to be economically equal as well. Unless you're willing to go through the hurdles, right? Like you're looking at a 1.5, $2 million home, and you're with someone who he can't afford that. And so you have to make a decision, right? So if you choose to be with someone who you're not, aligned with in terms of economically, then you have to decide, are you going to like downgrade your life and like put aside what you really want and can afford, or you're going to be the one fronting most of the cost for stuff because you can't afford it. But then you got to worry about ego and if the person can really handle it. It's just a whole situation. It's not impossible, but it becomes tricky. It becomes difficult. Um, and yeah, it's just consider those things. That's all I'm saying. Side note, I do like Megan's mom. I think Megan's mom, when they had the meeting, um, just I love the mom. I love the sister. Like her, I like those parents. Her family was a vibe. Oh, and Megan did meet Luca's mom off camera, so I'm glad that they're not showing Luca. Thank God, the production had some type of sense, but they're not showing Luca, and they didn't show that interaction on camera. So it's just gonna be weird to marry someone and you have not been in the household with the child before. That's kind of scary, but this whole situation is weird. So then I believe it was episode 9, we get to the post pod mixer, and all of the returning people from the pods, they show up, and we see Patrick, and apparently Casey, is that her name? Yeah, Casey is still playing with Patrick. I didn't think she was going to respond to him when they got back to Denver, but she actually did respond to him, but it was just still foolishness and not really like saying what it is. And then that girl's like, I'm keeping the ring. Like, this girl has audacity. But then eventually she did stop responding to him. But Patrick. And then we see Patrick and Anna actually talk, and it was weird because she was saying like, which I mean, now that I'm thinking about it and I'm processing it in real time, she was saying like, were you really into me if you went and got engaged to someone else? So her thought process was, if you really wanted me, if I was always your number one, when I left, mind you, she didn't tell him she was leaving. Now, if she told him and they had a conversation, then that would be different. But Anna, you did not say anything to this man. You just left. But going back to her thought process, she's thinking, if I was really your number one, then you would have just left, and that would have been it. You wouldn't have gotten engaged to someone else. That was her thought process. But girl, you was rude and you was just out. What are Kay and Edmund even arguing about? Kay is exhausting. Edmund is exhausting. I just want them to not drag this out and just call this off, because it is all foolishness at this point and I'm over it. Anyway, child, let me know what your thoughts are on episodes 7, 8, and 9 of Love is Blind season 9. And I'll chat with y'all in the next one. Peace.